Very much, Cahirlook. Of course, we know that this new agency is going to be groundbreaking. It's going to be absolutely transformative, and it is about research and innovation across all disciplines. And what is phenomenal about this is that now it places research, particularly in the arts, the social sciences, humanities, on a statutory footing, which previously did not exist. So now we're going to see that this new agency has a statutory footing for funding into those areas. But I see, as has been mentioned here as well by my colleague here too, the multidisciplinarity across so many areas of research. And I know that Senator Cloden here has mentioned about Impact 2030 and the goals and objectives, which are about using and working with all areas of research to fight these challenges that we have, both social, economic, environmental, across the board. And this agency is competitive funding. At its crux, it is competitive. It is based on excellence in each and every area. And Ireland will stand tall, and it will stand head and shoulders above so many others because it bases it on excellence. And we will see, because we have the talent in Ireland across so many areas. We have the talent in every single section of research, in every single area of research. What we will see now is that all of those areas are going to be looking at funding coming through this agency, and that they will be able to compete as well as that for international competitive funding. To me, I think it's absolutely crucial to see that the Impact 2030 sort of proposal here of research and innovation strategy is about how we engage with research and innovation, obviously within third level, but it's not just that. It's creating our future. It's literally, doing a roadshow that went around all the towns in Ireland last year and the year before, engaging with people literally on the ground. They had it in Roscommon, they had it in Ballinasloe, they talked to people on the street. They brought in the researchers to talk to people on the street. They went into the schools, they went into the primary schools and the secondary schools, they talked to parents. They literally engage with everybody about what it means to have research in Ireland. And that is the importance. This and Impact 2030 is about ensuring that we use research for policy making, that it's evidence-based, that when our agencies and our ministers and our departments are making decisions, it's an evidence base. And they're basing it on the excellence coming out of the research that will be done by researchers across every institution here in Ireland.
I'd like to address Amendment 2, which relates to the interpretation section of the bill. Amendments 10, 11, which address the objects of the agency, and Amendments 16 and 17, which relate to Section 35 of the bill, schemes for funding of research and innovation. For Amendment 2, submitted by Senator Clonan and Senator Crockwell, parity of esteem is not just between disciplines or between discipline groupings like science, technology, engineering, maths, and arts, humanity, and social sciences. We need parity of esteem across all types of research, from frontier and basic research to applied research. These are interdependent and complementary. We need to be funding high-quality frontier and basic research now to ensure a pipeline of applied research for the next 10 or 20 years. We also need to have parity of esteem for all career stages, from PhD and postdoctoral early career research to established researchers who have the experience and expertise to lead on larger scale projects. We need to support mutually respectful and supportive engagements, with senior researchers being encouraged to support the skills development of the junior researchers on teams that they are leading. For Amendments 10 and 11, parity of esteem is a core and vital principle and was a key consideration throughout the drafting process. Parity of esteem underpins all of the provisions within the bill itself and the planning of the new agency. The Irish Statute Book has a requirement for clear, concise and actionable language. There is a requirement for domestic legislation to maintain the clarity and integrity of the statute. The proposed amendments are less inclusive than the broad enabling provision already at 8b, and to quote, to support the undertaking of research and innovation in all fields of activity and disciplines by researchers with different levels of knowledge, experience and specialist skills in such fields or disciplines, end quote, which captures the policy intention of all disciplines, all areas, all types, all career stages of researchers and innovation. The proposed amendments omit this vital distinction that parity of esteem and balance needs to be across career stages as well as disciplines or research areas, which the existing provision includes more fully. For this reason, we do not propose to accept the amendments. For Amendments 16 and 17, The funding section of the bill has been precisely engineered to require that the funding decisions are attached to the high-level principles in Section 8 and to the remit of the agency in the functions at Section 9. The policy intention is broader than what is proposed here by the Senators, and the balance we are seeking is more finessed. Parity of esteem has been a core principle throughout the drafting process and underpins all provisions within the bill. For the first time, arts, humanities and social science funding will be on a statutory basis, meaning that should Senators pass this legislation, arts, humanity and social science researchers will be able to lead projects as principal investigators, which they are currently unable to do under existing SFI legislation. And I would highlight the significance of this to Senators. The Department has an absolute commitment to parity of esteem under Impact 2030 strategy. We need all disciplines, all types of research, all career stages working collaboratively together across a cohesive national research and innovation ecosystem to enable effective engagement, optimise resources and avoid duplication and get the best possible outcomes for Ireland. The agency is also required to, and I quote, promote and support the contribution made by research and innovation to economic, social, cultural and environmental development and sustainability in the state. Economic development, but also social and cultural and environmental progress. There is no one concept here being elevated above the others, and there is in fact parity, and that is in fact parity. Section 37 also requires the CEO to ensure that the agency is delivering on the agency's objectives and functions and on the objectives and outputs and related strategies in the corporate plan and the proposed activities and performance targets related to those activities in the annual plan. As such, there is a clear and existing requirement on the agency to ensure that it is supporting researchers across all disciplines, so we do not therefore propose to accept that amendment either. Just want to say also in relation to ring-fenced funding and quotas, the idea that an arts, humanity and social science council had been included in the heads of the bill. However, when we went out to the stakeholders, they were opposed to the idea of being hived off or separate. They viewed it as being put on a junior table and not being included in the real business of the agency proper, or being where the real decisions get made. And there has been similar feedback around funding. We do not want to hive off any amount of money and say, here is the pot for arts, humanity and social sciences. We will not be introducing ring fencing or quotas. Competitive funding decisions will be based on the standard and quality of the research and how the proposals intend to have an economic, social, cultural and environmental development and sustainability impact. And this is clearly defined in the bill. All principles and research areas can compete for funding calls and when the agency will be running. If the top 5 best applications are arts, humanities and social sciences, we do not want it to be in a position where the agency can only take 1 or 2 because they can only allocate a small pot of ring-fence funding to these disciplines. This would be further complicated by how these programs operate, where you can often have multidisciplinary teams. So are we going to say that an arts, humanity and social science principal investigator leading a team means that funding will be coming out of a limited arts, humanity and social science quota of funding, even if the rest of the team are STEM researchers? So we're not accepting the amendments.